The Fed Reserve, Fed balance sheet went went down this week. Just by a little. My throat's starting to bother me too now. So I could chop my head off in 2 seconds. Here's my coffee.
DSKE shares resume trading at 9:50 Eastern Time in about 30 minutes. Delta Sierra Kilo Echo.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jay.
What's up, Mr. Lanchero?
We got a busy morning here.
What's that?
I said we have a busy morning here. We have
busy.
A handful of traders in the room who at the end of the day, or towards the end of the day, went short Nike, including myself.
Oh, yeah, earnings. That's right.
So is my screen up? Because I hate talking if my screen isn't up.
I have no clue.
No, don't, not my face, guys. Put it on the fucking chart, please. Put there. Oh my God. Thank you. All right. The reason, the opportunity that I saw in Nike was that it was, in my opinion, at an area where they had run the price of the stock up into the number. And from a technical perspective, there was a year-to-date anchored volume weighted average price that dated back 3 years ago, so back to 2020. So in my opinion, it was worth a shot at taking some short in that instance. I just, for whatever reason, because of how far the market has run and because they ran this up into the number, to me, this looked priced to perfection. So I didn't take just a lotto for that expires today. I took a trade that goes out until January. I spread it. So I have a 122, 112 spread that's going to max out this morning when we open. I know Aussie, and by the way, I took 50 of these. So this is going to be a nice payday. Aussie took 100 of the same line, and in the after hours he covered. And I think also in the after hours Peconic did a similar thing. I think Aussie covered a piece at 114, Peconic covered a piece at 115. I know Kelman has a lotto that he took, and he's going to get a 5-bagger off of it this morning. So just so you guys know where we're at, and I couldn't have scripted it any better. I thought last night after the earnings that this little gap that dates back to December 11th, I thought that would be a phenomenal day if it just filled that little gap. and it not only filled that little gap, but it just basically rolled over and died. So I couldn't have scripted it any better. I haven't hit one like this since we nailed that Netflix several years ago, where we caught it for a 100-point gap. So this is a really nice trade this morning. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those who are in this as well. It's a nice trade this morning.
Definitely. Nice job, guys.
Yeah.
Were their numbers shitty? Did it matter, or was just the stock was? I mean, the stock had a nice run though.
See, that's the thing is like I don't get, you know me, I don't get hung up on what the actual information is. I just look and see something and say that looks like an opportunity. I don't necessarily know how big. I certainly did not expect this. I think what the numbers and what they said were they've got to do some cost cutting stuff. They're talking about slowing in China, etc. So I think that
with the FedEx that's back to back now. It's two cyclicals.
Yeah. Kelman's telling me we're even on the tequila scoreboard. Thank you. How are we even, Kelman?
Yeah.
How are we even? Tell me how we're even, bro. Got CNBC on C to see what they say. They cut forecasts and talked cost cutting to achieve blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. And I held I'm still short BABA. I held that thing yesterday, even though I was tempted to add some more or cut. But I still think that this BABA flushes out. So I'm going to hang on to that.
I don't know.
I took that February 70 line on the bump.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't very expensive. That's a little bit out of the money, but if this BABA really, if they really decide they don't like it, this thing probably, breaks the lows of 70 and goes down 65 or something like that.
Well, to the China rant, something happened with Tencent overnight in China.
I saw that headline, Tencent, and there was another one that are really getting the crap knocked out of them, right?
Yep. China got involved in some way again, the government, which is a problem. Where is that?
Yes, of course it is. Techie got wrecked also, and Bob.
That's Tencent. Techie is the symbol for Tencent. I'm losing my voice as we speak, I think.
Oh, Kelman's reminding me that I owed him some Fortaleza Reposado, and for this one, he says we're even. I don't know, Kelman. This one's a little better than yours. I got you a 5-bagger here, right? Hey, Chris, I don't know where Lucci is. You're in the same office he is. Go outside and look for him.
He's asking you where Lucci is.
How the fuck do I know where Lucci is?
Miles away from there. Chris, it's like me asking where Dukes is or Jules is. It's me asking you where they are, for crying out
loud. So you got this NTES. That's the other. Isn't that the China name?
That's NetEase, yes. Okay,
and then you got obviously Nike, and then you've got the sympathy trades also, right? You got Foot Locker down 9%, Under Armour down 6%, Dick's down 5%. There was also a retail ETF that somebody was buying some puts on yesterday.
Oh yeah, for Nike. Those Bitcoin plays are up again, and Bitcoin down. I think that could be up now. Oh no, Bitcoin's still lower. Look at all those things gunning overnight.
Chris is trolling me right off of the bat here. Why are you a Chinese hater? First of all, let's clarify something, Chris. I don't hate Chinese. What I hate is the government in Beijing. Why do I hate them? Because they are communists. Do you think communists are capitalists? Do you think they see the world through our eyes? Do you think that they align with us? I don't care where you're at. You're a knucklehead if you put trust in an autocracy of any way, shape, or form, and you put your money there. You deserve to lose it. Please educate yourself on the different forms of government that exist in the world, and don't put words in my fucking mouth.
I'm giving any manufacturing update for December. The picture will get early November.
Jay, we got anything economic wise today? I only see durable goods. Well, PCE was the big one today, right? That's
yeah.
That's
it was pretty much nothing going on there.
All right. So after the bell, you got new home sales at 10, consumer sentiment at 10, and then for oil, I don't know how much this even matters anymore. The rig count used to be a big deal. That doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Yeah, well, not these days. I think they, with OPEC more involved and more people paying attention to demand and supply economically. What was I say? Today might get really, really quiet after the open. Really, really quiet.
I think so.
A lot of people I know aren't even at the desk today. So
yeah.
I think the bond market closes early today, as a matter of fact.
Well, what is that? That's the SIFMA, right? Early close at 2 Eastern?
Yeah, 2 o'clock, I think.
Yeah. Yes. So I agree with you. Everybody's probably going to be winding it all down. Go into their bunker.
Go in the bunker. Sipping eggnog.
The Christmas bunker.
Sipping eggnog. I think
Where are?
Oh, we're gonna open in a minute. Yeah.
We got a minute to go. 30 seconds.
Trading has commenced on the NYSE.
Micron got an upside alert here, so that might be interesting to look at semiconductors here. Going to take them a minute to open up these Nikes, it looks like. Oh, there they go.
Nasdaq up 40.79.40.27% at 15,004 after market open.
Got some more dollar weakness this morning.
Night sinks 12% at the open, the most since
That's
September.
giving us a little pump here, huh?
Yeah. The market in general, it's been helping a lot.
Market on open imbalance, 216 million to the buy side.
I'm still cranking. Qualcomm looks nice. Workday. Boeing holding serve. Lockheed starting to try and move up a little bit here. Keep an eye on that if you're in a condor. You want to watch it. If it breaks above the 200 or the 50, you want to be on your toes. Costco turning up. Netflix kind of hanging around. Novo Nordisk slightly up. Look at this coin. Where's Mara? Mara was cranking still.
They were up in the aftermarket. I think Bitcoin turned lower though.
Did it? Okay, yeah. Mara's selling a little bit here. ES is up. SPX and SPY up. Q's up. Everything right up against some technical levels that maybe they go through, maybe they don't.
The shippers, well, some of them up again this morning. STNG over 64.
The stinger.
Sting.
I'm coming out of these Nikes in 10 lots.
You have intentions of holding any, or
Sorry, say it again.
you have intentions of trying to milk any of it? Like roll?
No, I was spread on it, so it's a home run.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's as good as it's going to get.
Gotcha. I forgot about that. Some more of these shippers, seeing some flow. I think this one's Chinese though, Zim. But I could be wrong. Pretty quiet open.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
But Nike's bouncing a little bit, so some of these guys covered with they've hedged with some equity in the after hours, which is that's dicey.
Yeah.
So they got to play a little bit more of a game. All right, let me know how you guys are doing on your Nikes. Nike bounced right to the 200-day moving average. Let's see if they are done and pull it back, or they decide they like it and they keep going.
Australian dollar, US dollar jumped 0.3% to 0.6822, the highest since July 20th.
What is that? 197. CCJ, a little repeat activity. Oh, those are for today. 44.5 CCJ for today, active. Coin, same day expos, active and coin, call. Oh. You got a repeat bet in that MSTR could roll, obviously, like all the others. SE, what's that doing? That had a nice afternoon. Up a little more, yeah. SE, they had news this morning. Good news.
Brazil Finance Minister Haddad saying that I argued that rate cuts should have started earlier, but we must not see that as criticism of the central bank autonomy or the central bank chief. Government has not yet decided if it will scrap the tax exemption for imports of up to $50. Investments for private sector, the only worrying variable, and they must grow. Brazil Haddad repeating that rates are falling now and must fall more. Again, the central bank in Brazil cut rates earlier this week. Now we're hearing a host of issues from the finance minister, Haddad.
Good job, Kelman. Nice job. Jesus, Kelman really crushed those. $1.17. Sorry, $1.74 on the 117 puts for today. So he goes $1.74 out at $9. Well done, Kelman.
Nice, Kelman.
Peconic bought his hedge back. Well done. Ozzy sold his hedge off in Nike. Well done. I've got 10 contracts left. I've got an average fill on mine around $8.70, which is pretty good.
Attack ships in the Red Sea, according to sources.
Same press report that Iranian ship has provided Houthis intelligence to target the vessels in the Red Sea.
There we you go.
An Iranian paramilitary vessel has aided Houthi rebels in fighting targets in the Red Sea.
Fucking Houthis.
So nice job, Kelman Ozzy Peconic. Well done managing your trades. That's what you're supposed to do.
WTI crude prices drifting to the highs of the morning here, approaching $75 on this latest reporting surrounding Iran and potential ties to the attacks we've seen in the Red Sea.
So much for the March put buyer in the XLE, who is now underwater.
Yeah, it had a nice bounce, right, actually?
Oh my gosh, it had a nice bounce. That's what I don't like about commodity. Who the hell knows? The freaking Iranians get a little crazy. The Houthis get a little crazy. Containers go to $10 a container. Aren't they 100? How 10 grand? 10 grand a container?
10
What's
grand,
the
yeah.
rate on those things now?
Outrageous.
A lot.
You got a little bet in gold, silver miner, Puff Puff Pass, PAAS.
Mara's still going, coin's still going. They had a little dip and they just came right back and bottom up.
We have posted the full Wall Street Journal piece on the feed for those interested.
Amazon's looking nice. Hanging around.
Some more Citigroup flow.
There go my last 10 Nikes.
RKLB Lotto's active.
Rocket Lab. Look at that thing go. What the fuck?
That's a farm, I think.
Google having a nice morning. Microsoft up. Banks up. I'm just not seeing anything to latch onto here.
$15 minutes or so now into the trading session. The Dow near that session high is up 89 points. S&P making a new high at 4769. NASDAQ composite up 72 points. The VIX is at 1383, up about 1%. WTI crude futures at 74.84, up 1.33%. Treasury yields are lower. The 10-year at 387, down about 1.5 basis points.
Zach, BA's weak again. Zach, it might not be a bad thought to write against the Boeing at the monies for today. And if it doesn't pan out, or if it flips and goes the other direction, you can flip on that right. It's actually not a bad idea. But SE's got repeat. Guys coming after it, huh?
Yeah, more
40s. SE. Oh, type in the right spot, Ronchero. Ozzy, you playing the SE? I need to know if that's you. There you go.
Isn't it? Oh, he got out of it?
1229, 170 puts for Ozzy. It's pretty strong right now, Ozzy, so just be careful. I'm not saying, oh, fundamentally everything's great. I'm just saying people want that. Dodgers definitely not helping inflation. That is true, Madcap. They just throwing $1 billion around on two players like it's fucking monopoly money.
Still won't win the World Series next year.
What do you think of that, Dodger fan?
I mean, that's the way it goes, no?
There we go. Yesterday we insult Philly. Today we insult LA.
Everybody had the Metsies going places coming into the year. Look at that. Now they're
on.
calling for Cohen's head. How about that?
The Mets can't do anything until they're free of Bobby Bonilla. Once they're free of Bobby Bonilla, then
They're on the
maybe.
payroll. They're on the payroll.
Now expects the bank to deliver its first rate cut of 25 basis points in May 2024 versus April 2024 estimated previously.
What is FSM?
I think it's a minor.
Oh, gross. The miners, those miners smell like wet chickens, man. I don't get it. It's like having a wet chicken in your house, Jay.
You're fucking nuts. The analogies you pull out of your ass.
Zach's got some SE December 22, 36 and a half calls. What? At $1.85? Nice.
From
job.
yesterday, maybe those were hit yesterday. They could have been hit yesterday. A lot of weeklies. J&J catching some flow here.
It's just a random bag of shit. Got some Google on the board. March 160s. Small guy. 61K.
With a range of 0.72 to 0.65 million expected. The first significant breakdown, they give their 1 year inflation expectations, forecast 3.1%, 1%, and 5 year inflation expectations, forecast 2.8% on the prior 2.8%. New conditions final is forecast at 74.6 on the prior 74. The expectations final, which is forecast at 67.5 on the prior 66.4, and also the US new home sales change.
Oh, Kelman, you and your Oracle.
6%.
He's going to try and prove a point in here with this Oracle. It's a big fat maybe, Kelman. Right at a spot where it can fade, too. The good news is if you got some cushion from your Nike trade to let that one play out. Lucky Dog, what are you holding on Oracle? What's your What's your strike in Expo? Where's Silver this morning? Is he in here? There's Silver's. Okay. From nose holding. All right. Yes, buys Preston here still. I mean, from a long-term perspective, I can't say I hate it. Makes me feel good about opening the statement on the long-term account. Jay, what do you got over there today? Anything?
No, nothing. I mean, they're hitting a bunch of things into strength, but nothing in particular.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, are you talking vols and volatility, or are you talking about volume? Amgen, that caught an upgrade yesterday, is having a nice day here this morning. Let me see if I've got any upgrade downgrades to look at here this morning.
Mural Matrix, United Therapeutics disclosing an amended stake. Now, again, they did announce a deal to acquire Mural Matrix back on October 30th, 13D now out.
If you've got to just play something because you're a crackhead, which I understand. I mean, you could look at like some 497 and a halves today on this NVIDIA and see what happens. I know Costco's bouncing back here today. Yeah, that's a nice bounce back. Let's see what else I got. There was some Affirm at the end of the day, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
Affirm.
Time now at the top of the hour. We have University of
Let's see. Upgrade, downgrades, upgrades, ADI, LITE. Oh, shit. Netflix caught a downgrade this morning. Okay. Paychecks caught a downgrade. Obviously, Nike caught a downgrade.
Forecast 3.1% on the prime, 3.1%, and the 5-year inflation final. Forecast of 2.8% on the prime, 2.8%.
Keep an eye on this Paychecks, guys. Look, this is yet an earnings gap down, and now it's triangulating. It's halfway on that red candle yesterday, so that might be a spot to consider a short if they can't regain that entire candle from yesterday. Initiations, BHVN, CVS, KDP. That's Dr. Pepper, right? And then WBA. So CVS and WBA, we were talking about those a couple of weeks ago, right? I was asking you what the hell Walgreen Boots was. I had no freaking clue.
Yeah, what names? I'm sorry, Rancho. I was looking at some. What'd you say? Walgreens Boots? What about it?
Yeah, I was talking about initiations. So you had CVS and Walgreens got initiations this morning.
Buy initiations?
And then you got some Target changes on Amazon, Apple, and Coin. I'm just trying to find stuff that may have some why or catalyst behind their moves.
Get some economic data in a couple minutes, 4 minutes.
Yep, that might get us a little program. outside of that, I think you're right, Jay. Pretty slow day.
Yeah, it might be quiet. You might get some unusual activity, smaller names here and there.
Amgen there to keep.
15
This
minutes
is a
to tap
tough
down
one.
and get new home sales data for November in the U.S. expected 690,000, which would be up 1.6% from the prior 679. Let's get Michigan sentiment December final reading expected at 69.4, which would be in line with preliminary. One-year inflation outlook expected at 3.1%. Five-year inflation outlook expected 2.8%, which would be in line with the prelim.
So maybe we look at shorting some of the home builders if that home number is crappy.
A lot of the commodity stuff caught fire here recently. Aluminum, AA, Alcoa, this one I just posted.
Oh yeah, somebody said AA in the group room. Let's see, in the steam room. Oh my God, sexy aluminum moving higher.
This is all the Feds doing, lighting fire to everything.
University of Michigan sentiment final.
SK talking about SMCI.
November expected 690,000.
Yeah, no, so SK normal, right? It's within a range. So, wait it out. Now I got to go back and fix that. Wait it out, or wait for it to get back down to some levels, right? Let me redraw this fib now that I accidentally moved it like a 3-year-old. Here we go.
November new home sales data in the Michigan sentiment reading in just a few seconds.
SK, in my opinion, on the SMCI, it's rinse and repeat.
6.7 for Michigan sentiment, 3/10 higher than expected, 590,000 for new home sales, well below the 690,000 expectation. Michigan inflation, 5-year outlook rising 0.1% to 2.9%. 1-year inflation outlook at 3.1% is in line with expectation. Expectations index at 67.4, 0.1 lower than expected. Current conditions at 73.3, below the 74.6 expected.
All right, so there's your data. SK, back to the SMCI. Just make some alerts, dude. Like 250, way down here, a big picture fib, right? Which is a 50% retrace of that move that started way back here in April. So you know what's been happening is you've been getting to these areas and we catch them for bounce. So I think it's just rinse and repeat and just wait it out. I don't like shorting it because it's crazy, but I don't mind waiting for levels and just putting some alerts at levels. There's a 9er on coin today.
I probably ran through a few 9s by now, no? Let me see.
Madden Cap calling out a 9er, daily 9er on it.
It ran through already 1, 2. This is the third 9er in this rally.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, from a fib perspective, guys, when I measured this move over here that dates back to 23, look at the extension on it. That's This is pretty insane. And now it's going to attempt to come up into a bigger picture fib. So I'm just going to take that out of there and let's look at the weekly on this. Oh, am I going to have to clear my cache? Yeah, check it out. So 183.80. Look at the structure to the left. This is a weekly chart. So maybe you get up here and it starts to take a pause. Remember, anytime you look at a move and you're like, that's too far, just back out. Look at the weekly chart. Look at it on a big picture, draw a fib, get an idea. Doesn't mean it's going to that spot, but it has potential to do something in those areas. Ozzy asking what a niner means.
So seeing a correction from the Newswire.
Ozzy, you got so much. I've never seen somebody, Jay, I've never seen somebody come in here and not know like so many basics and do so well.
Yeah, well, he's new to the option game, you know. He's brand new.
I'm doing my best from keeping this kid to drive this truck filled with explosives off of the bridge.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way you learn in this game.
He's hanging on.
The way you learn in this game, you know.
Ozzy, Kalman just called you Forrest Gump, bro.
Ooh. I'm taking shots.
Shots fired. Ozzy, you gotta be careful on the coin. He's loading up the truck with more explosives. 250, 170 puts for December 29th on the coin, average of 585.
You guys nuts.
Yeah. The thing that I like about Ozzy, though, is he will close positions. He doesn't come in here and just hang on to everything. There's some things he hangs on to, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
He's got some money to burn.
You know what? The kid has done pretty well in here. In the last 60 days. We want to make sure he keeps that money, though. What would you rather have $1 million go to zero, or would you rather have $1 million go to 25, 50, 100?
Follow up on the new home sales data.
I like the latter.
9.2 months appears to be the highest in September of 2022.
Yeah, so nice job, Ozzy, hanging on. You covered all of your long equity, right, on the pop? Yeah, Ed, it's only money, right? Until you're living in a cardboard box under a bridge. Good job, Ozzy. Nice adjustment.
Man, I got a little quiet already. What?
Yeah. I see a little Twilio there, huh?
Yeah, a little Twilio nibbling again. But the pace already slowed down here pretty noticeably.
Ozzy, I know you made Escalade money already, bro. Did you order that Escalade for wifey yet? You better if you're gonna freaking spit on dice and let them fly, you better go buy a couple of things that you can remember the good times by. Screek, this market isn't tough for Ozzy. You just give Ozzy your money, bro, and he's gonna freaking 10x it for you.
Yeah, good point. Make sure you pay your taxes first.
Yeah, exactly. You better siphon some off for taxes. Skim, Ozzy is our new Labrador Retriever in the room. You can sit there with that freaking that pneumatic ball machine that fires a tennis ball a couple hundred yards. He'll chase that thing all day. NAIM is at highs back to July. What is NAIM? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
What stock? I didn't hear what you're saying. What's
NAIM, November, Alpha, Indigo, Mike.
November, Alpha, Indigo. That's not a stock, is it? Oh, maybe he's talking about sentiment. The sentiment, NAIM exposure. He's probably talking about it. I would think there's no stock in AIM.
I don't know what it is.
I think he's talking about exposure.
About to say something very important. You have free 5,000 50/50 call spreads on SPX. That's it? That was your important announcement? Will it be epic if they go in the money? You're just looking for some attention this morning, Silvers. All right. From a swing account perspective, I'm having a nice day. From a scalp perspective, I don't have anything. I've got nothing.
Well, now we'll see some of the more true action. The problem is there may not be much of it.
Right. It's just running in a bowl of mashed potatoes.
There's another one. That was pretty good. Running in a bowl of mashed potatoes.
I got them all day, Jay.
Seriously.
They just pop into my head and I spit them out.
Never ending list. I realize that.
They're like pearls, Jay.
Damn. I got to.
Don't try to write them down. You're going to hurt yourself.
I got to come up with my own.
You got plenty of them.
I got to get my own.
Uh-oh. I thought my computer was just about to lock up. It gave me the pinwheel for a second. That's never good.
No, you get a
never
pinwheel.
good. The pinwheel. Let's see. John Smith is asking me. I'm looking at Gen Pop. John Smith.
Oh, John Smith. I forgot about John Smith. What's the prediction? We should have a thing. John Smith's prediction of the day. What is it, John Smith?
All right, John. You're asking. He's like, explain your Nike trade. So the Nike trade, John. Here's what it was. All I looked at was that, hey, you had a run up in Nike before they released earnings. Many times, not always, many times when stock prices run up to the earnings typically, not always, have to be spot on and or better. And this Nike, in my opinion, was priced to perfection. Why? This yellow line is an anchored volume weighted average price that dates back to 2020. So everybody who was in Nike dating back to 2020 in the last 3 trading days had an opportunity to get out break even, right? So if you run the number up and you've got traders stuck from 2020, in my mind, I say, well, listen, I'm willing to take some risk here because I probably have a decent chance of being correct and making some money to the downside. Now, here's what I thought. This little gap area that dates back to December 11th might get filled at, let's say, 115. That would have been a really good day. Did I expect that they would open it down here? No, I had no clue. No clue. But what I did do is I took some risk here, and I did it in the form of a spread, and I went out a little further in time to do what? Get away from the IV crush. I didn't want to just coin toss a lotto. I wanted to take something that if I was wrong, I could have worked my way out of, which is why I went to January and I did a 122, 112 spread, which maxed itself out this morning. So, and I did that times 50 contracts. So that was a $50,000 payday. No, sorry, $25,000 payday. So that's a nice overnight trade.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, John, spread, calls, 122 by 112. And it was for January. Now you had traders in our room, and if you would get out of Gen Pop and reach into that wallet with all the mods flying out of it and spend your $7.99 and come into the Steamroom and see you've got a bunch of good traders in here, you would see what everybody traded and how they traded it, because this trade didn't go off until the end of the day. But there's a nice handful of traders who banked on that today. Kelman being one of them, got a, what'd you get, Matt? $1.70 to $9 on your lottos. Ozzy, the crazy man, banked big on them. So did Peconic. So we had a lot of traders who took this trade, looking at that information and knowing with their eyes wide open that this was a trade that might not work. This was not to say this was a trade that was going to work. I was willing to take risk here because of the factors that I just outlaid for you. I've been in these that don't work. To me, that looked like a nice setup, so I took it. SQQ Bears, really here? Wow.
SQQ Bears. That's bullish, isn't it? Hold on. When
Yeah,
did that get
it is. It is.
Oh,
So take a look at this. Thank you, Chris. Finally, you say something nice this morning.
Brainard on CNBC talking about a host of issues right now addressing the U.S. steel deal, just saying that they remain focused on the steel industry and they want it to thrive when asked about the CFIUS review.
Kelman, I agree with you on the Microsoft. I think, in my humble opinion, if you were going to use an iron condor, you could, and you could use it offensively.
Brainard, when asked about the Fed and their outlook for rates, saying that they will not comment on the future outlook for rates from the Federal Reserve.
Ozzy, I would
Just pointing to the improvement we've seen in inflation in the Fed. It's independent.
start to consider some hedging on your coin. Yeah, Chris, the bond market closes early, but not the regular.
And that Bit Farts seeing a little more play too. The other Bitcoin name, BITF.
Did you say big farts?
Bit Farts, we call it. BITF.
Bit farts. Okay.
You got two interesting sweeps here. One, Budweiser. They're looking to go unwoke. You got Feb 57 and a halves deep in the money sweep there. Opens almost a $500,000. And,
Budweiser's a recession trade, huh?
well, it's an alcoholic trade. You should love it. And an underbelly name I know a couple people like, including Bova, PD, pager duty.
Yuck.
Jan 25 there in the pager duty. PD, Peter Dickhead.
Safety Director Brainerd just saying it's critical
Sorry,
that
Peter.
the U.S. has supply chains that are resilient.
Yeah, Jay's a
those are
savage. He's not holding back. He don't hold nothing back.
Nothing personal, Peter.
I can handle it. I'm gonna go downstairs and crack a cold one for you right now, Jay.
And feed the dogs.
Agreed.
Feed them dogs.
100, indicating keeping on the VIX as well. It's currently around 13.76.
June 25. I don't know. It's a small one. I don't know if these were all riot.
Tennessee Director Brainerd wrapping up her interview on CNBC.
So a couple of the new Bitcoin BTC proxy plays, they've been some of the more recent ones, I should say. BTBT, Boy Tom, and that Bitfarts. Well, Bitfarts is not really that recent. They've been playing that thing a little bit here and there. SE, adding to SE here. What do they got? Jan 26 40s in a sweep.
I can't say I hate it. And it'll crescendo, and then once it does, they'll pull the plug, right?
Yeah. Yesterday was the perfect spot where these guys in the room were playing it. That was ideal. I mean, right on the floor. Dang.
Let's take a
This
look.
thing hasn't squeezed. You know, it's getting lumped in with these Asia plays. That's the problem. Otherwise, this thing used to be a great squeeze name, as many of you know, when it got tied up in the growth stuff. Now it's getting lumped in with China stuff. Been weighing on it. But if you're in from yesterday, I would give it a little leash. I think Zach is still in it. But a couple of you guys are still holding a piece from yesterday. Got some wiggle room and cushion. See if you could get lucky. Have you looked at the Budweiser? What does that look like? Anything? Oh, that's been coming back a little bit here.
You know, I remember we would look at the alcohol names and the staple names, like a Procter and Gamble, as always being a recession trade.
Yeah.
Budweiser, Procter and Gamble, Colgate, et cetera.
Yeah, defensive.
Constellation brands.
Yep. Defensive names. Well, this Budweiser got beat up off the what's that thing's name? Mulaney on
Don't know.
TikTok. You know, it was all over the world.
Oh, right, the Go Woke Bud Light
yeah.
that campaign. Yeah. Well, it was a good opportunity to buy.
Yep.
Get you a 36-pack of Bud Light.
Bud Light. But their sales really got hit off that. Like, it was no joke. So I don't know.
I mean, I really wasn't paying attention. So
now they're going back to the Clydesdales. You know what I mean?
yeah, right.
They went back to the Clydesdales now, trying to mop up. What am I doing? Hive, some repeat adding there. That's been a hot Bitcoin name. Again, that's not new. They've been playing this for a couple of weeks now. HIVE.
We got about 10 minutes left. Those of you in the public stream.
Thank God for you when Lucci's here. I don't even think it, but thank God for you when he's not here, because I forget even the public streams are running. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, I
get
know.
all
Well,
caught up and shit. I don't know what the hell's going on.
well, I pay more attention to the guys in the steam room for obvious reasons. But I will drink from the fire hose once in a while that is known as the public stream. And sometimes the Gen Pop guys can get a little woolly, so I kind of have.
The problem is you got a good batch of people in there. You know what I mean? A couple of trolls here and there ruin shit for everybody. It always goes that way, you know? You have a handful of mopes that always ruin the party.
Mopes. But as we talk about always, if you want to join us in the steam room, come check us out for a couple of weeks for the whopping inflationary rate of $7.99 US dollars.
Yeah, you can't even buy a bud these days for that. All right, what the hell can you buy for $8? Not much. Not much.
Some of these guys.
Still 2 weeks.
Some of these guys ask me to look at silver and gold. Guys, the problem is for me. It's not necessarily for anybody else. I don't trade commodity-based anything very well. I used to trade oil. I used to trade it okay. I used to trade gold, and I used to trade the big gold contract, which I used to trade okay. But it was never spectacular for me. And there's always some kind of global event that I never see coming that always ruins my trades, because technicals are simply one piece of the puzzle. All they do is help identify where you might have some probability, right? And I prefer a better than 50-50 chance on something working. For example, the Nike trade, right? I don't always get those right. When I get them right, they pay well. But a gold, a silver, a copper, an oil, etc., they can be subject to so many things that you just never see coming that I don't trade them, and I don't trade them well for sure. So whenever I hear Jay talk about miners, etc., I just kind of ignore it because I know that I'm going to get myself into trouble. That's how that goes. Link to the steam room, we'll put that up there. There's the link to the trial, and then you can be in the steam room.
Still 2 weeks, right? For the trial?
Still 2 weeks. Asking about how do you calculate anchored VWAPs. So anchored VWAPs, there's a book written by a guy by the name of Brian Shannon. I'll actually hold it up. I keep it right here because sometimes I have questions about what I'm doing with the anchored VWAP, right? Do I have, is this mirrored? Is that backwards? Hang on, let me try flipping my screen here. There you go. Didn't realize my screen was not mirrored. So maximum trading gains, anchored VWAP, right? With Brian Shannon. Here's your author right here, Brian Shannon. So most trading platforms already have anchored VWAP built in. If you understand where and how to anchor, that's what will make a difference. So for example, on, you know, a Nike, and like I said, I had a better than a puncher's chance of being successful in this trade, but this trade could have gone against me, guys. It's not to say that they hit the jackpot and that goes higher. To me, from what I've experienced in the past in 30 years of trading, when I see a move like that, I see an opportunity for the other side of the trade. And I left myself in a position where if I was wrong, I would have been able to work myself out of the trade for either a small loss or break even. As it is, I maxed out the spread and I had a nice morning. But these are not everyday trades, right? Not an everyday trade. I would rather hit singles and doubles than home runs. Every once in a while, I'm going to catch one of these. This is not the norm. It is not the norm. And if people tell you it's the norm, and this is what they do, they catch home runs all the time, you should turn and walk away and wish them a good day.
Run away. UAA Under Armour little dip buy. Oh, those are leaps anyway, though. You got an Under Armour dip buyer into the Nike weakness. 2025 leaps.
That's not such a bad idea.
Let's see. The UAA. There are 2 Under Armour still? I think so.
Yeah, I mean, everything else that we like to trade is, to me, it just looks like it's just simply taking a breather, right, Jay?
Say again. What's taking a breather?
All the stuff that me and Lucci like to trade, the
large stuff. Yeah.
They're just taking a breather.
Yeah, you might get, again, to McElliott's point we've been discussing, you might get that rotation back into those things come when the calendar flips.
Right.
You know? And some of these spec names have run, just exhaust themselves.
Yeah. And that's okay. Some days you're just like, you can't come in here every day and just crank out sausage.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're holding up quite well. Some of them are still grinding higher. They just slowed up a lot. Some of us thought that they would sell a little bit more than they're selling, but they've been holding up. Like Apple and Nvidia, they just slowed up. Tesla's been quiet, Oh,
look at this. Alex posting Nancy Pelosi on Stock Tracker and at Pelosi Tracker.
We got Pelosi.
The Queen is back. Nancy Pelosi just bought 5 million of Nvidia calls with a strike price of 130, expiration date of 12/20/24.
Wait a second. She could buy calls?
You didn't know that? These guys,
before all the heat came on, huh? She's out buying calls right now. You telling me?
Yeah, but to Kelman's point, 130. That can't be correct.
What do you mean 130?
Strike price. What planet are you on?
You said Nvidia.
I said Nvidia. 130.
So deep in the money, you mean?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's got to be a misprint.
Oh. I don't know what the hell you said. I knew you said Nvidia, but you said 130. Nvidia is $500. That's what you.
Okay, we got to get you to breathe in between listening to words.
So maybe she's buying deep in the money, kind of like.
I think it's a misprint. I think she's buying 530s. There's no way she's paying.
I gotta see the evidence that she's buying calls. I can't. After all the heat and all that, they want to change the law. She's out there buying calls.
Let's go look at the chains, for Christ's sake.
Wait, chains? Where'd you get that information from?
Somebody just posted in the room.
Who?
I feel like I'm talking to my grandpa right now.
That's still spreading rumors that that's so. That's spreading rumors. Ow.
Listen, Nancy is the best trader on the fucking street. If she's buying something, I want to know about it.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. Nancy's the Sharpie of all Sharpies, but it's too good to be true that she's buying calls on something.
That's why I said I'm going to go look at the chain and see if there's some open interest out there. All right, so 12/20/24. Let me pull up. Hang on one second. Let me pull up the chain on.
I'm sure there's open interest.
And by the way, we're out, Gen Pop. So if you want to hang around for this kind of information, you got to join the room. So did you like that big tease? All right, JB. Wish everybody, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate something else, whatever.
Happy holidays, everybody.
You guys take care, and we'll see you guys on the flip side in the short week next week. All right, JB, cut them loose. Laters, everybody.